Molly, Holly, and Sally are going to the prom in a fancy limousine, but the car breaks down on the way. The party hall is nearby, so the ladies decide to walk. Suddenly, it starts to rain. Luckily, all three ladies have umbrellas, but still, one of them gets wet. Can you guess who? Holly. Her skirt is wider than the diameter of her umbrella. Finally, the ladies arrive at the prom. All of their friends look very elegant and fancy. Leah is wearing very expensive designer shoes. Bella carries a Chanel bag. Alice is taking selfies with the latest smartphone. And Kim is showing off a sparkling diamond necklace. But in fact, only one of them is wealthy. Can you guess who? Take a closer look at the logo. Bella's Chanel bag is fake. Leah's shoes are way bigger than her feet, so she probably borrowed them from someone else. As for Alice, the smartphone in her hand is not hers. It has Kim's name on it, so Kim is the richest person here. Kim goes to the dance floor. Bobby, Billy, and Kenny invite her to dance, but one of these guys was bitten by a vampire, so he's not safe to dance with. Can you guess who? Bobby has a red mark on his shirt, but it's just lipstick. Billy's drinking something red, but it's just a cherry punch. Meanwhile, Kenny doesn't have any shadow, so he's a vampire. Kim goes to the ladies' room, but all three stalls are occupied. There's a robot inside one of them. Can you guess where? Let's take a look at the first lady's feet. Ouch! She's rubbed multiple corns with her fancy sandals. She can't be a robot. As for the third lady, her pedicure is too messy for a robot. Therefore, the robot is in the second stall. Bella asks Kim to take her picture. Kim takes a couple of shots. Can you find 3 differences between them? Here they are. Kim goes back to the party and spots a runaway criminal among the guests. Can you see this person too? It's the show host. He's hiding a prison robe under his suit. At the party, Bella gets bitten by a vampire too. Kim takes her to the hospital. They meet 2 doctors in the lobby. One of them is an imposter. Can you guess who? Real doctors wear gloves, and the woman on the right doesn't wear any. Bella gets into a hospital ward with 3 other people. One of them is not sick. Can you guess who? The woman on the left looks perfectly healthy. She has her lipstick on and a glamorous hairstyle. Although her arm is broken, it doesn't mean that she's sick. Kim comes home from a long day. She's very excited to treat herself with a bubble bath. She's been dreaming about it all day. But someone used up all her bubble foam. Kim interrogates her family members. Father says, "I spent all day at the garage repairing my old car, and I haven't visited the bathroom yet." Mother says, "I was feeling sick all day, so I didn't pay any attention to your beauty products." And Kim's brother says, "It wasn't me who took your bubble foam, but I think it was Mom." Who did it? Take a closer look at Dad's beard. There's pieces of foam on it. Busted! The next night, Kim goes to a sleepover with her friends. One of them is a werewolf. Can you guess who? This guy is a werewolf. Take a look at his claws.
Oh no.
Kim puts some cash in a stash in her room and leaves for Granny's house. In a couple of days, Kim returns and realizes that someone had stolen her money. How did she guess? Kim's stash was in this book. It was on the shelf when she left, and now the book is gone.
Oh God.
Kim runs to the living room and yells at her family. Who stole my book? Everyone swears to have nothing to do with the robbery, but Kim spots the thief right away. What about you? It's the brother. He used the book as a stand for his PlayStation. Kim is watching a TV program about risky sports.
Oh.
Can you help her guess which guy has a better chance of survival?
Oh God.
The one who's falling into the snow has a higher chance to survive. Hitting the water can be tough, and he still needs to get out of the ocean. Kim's dad wants to buy a boat. His agent arranges a meeting with 3 people. Each tells a brief story about their boats. Karen says, "My husband gave me this boat 5 years ago as a wedding gift. That's why it has my name. But now I want to sell it because we don't use it." Charles says, "I inherited this boat from my father. It works very well, but I don't need it because I'm moving abroad." And Liam says, "I built this boat on my own, but now I'm building a bigger one, so I'd like to sell it to get some cash." One of the sellers is lying. Can you spot who? Take a closer look at the first boat. Its name is Karma, not Karen. Therefore, she's a liar.
Oh.
Kim goes to the nearby hardware store to buy something for her home. Kim asks, "How much for the one?" The shopkeeper replies, "It's $2. Then Kim asks, "How much for 11?" The shopkeeper replies, "It's $4. And finally, Kim asks, "How much for 100?" And the shopkeeper replies, $6. What is Kim buying? She's buying a house number. Each digit costs $2. Kim's cat, Fluffy, ran away. She's been looking for him in a forest all evening. Finally, she gets tired and heads home. But suddenly, she sees a witch's house on the way. Kim enters and faces the witch. Fluffy is sitting on her lap. The witch says,
"I'll release your cat if you crack my riddle. I have 2 besties who are identical twins. Emma was born in 2003 and Gemma in 2004.
"How is it possible?" They're twins, but they were born on New Year's Eve. Emma was born right before midnight and Gemma right after midnight.
Duh.
The next day, Kim meets a handsome guy who likes puzzles. She asks his name, but instead of answering directly, the guy writes a date on a piece of paper. Can you help Kim figure out his name? Each number implies a particular letter of the alphabet. The guy's name is Theo. Theo invites Kim to an art exhibition. Take a look at these squares. Which one is bigger, yellow or green? All these black and white squares usually confuse perception, but it becomes obvious that the green square is larger than the yellow one if we put them away. Kim asks Theo, "What month were you born?" He replies with 4 emojis. Can you guess the month? Jack-o'-lantern stands for J. The next emoji implies U. Nut stands for N. And eggplant stands for E. Theo was born in June. Kim and Theo go for a walk in an abandoned village. They see a sign leading to a famous haunted castle. There are 4 possible routes, but only one of them will actually lead them to the castle. Can you figure out the correct way? It's way easier to untangle this maze if you start drawing from the final destination. They should take Route B. Finally, Kim and Theo find the castle. They enter the property and see a fancy living room. There are 6 zombies hiding in the living room. Can you spot them? Hello! The guys run away from the zombies and hide in the basement. They wander around and see 3 doors. Suddenly, the basement begins to get filled with water. Kim and Theo have to choose a door quickly to escape. But each door has a surprise. There's a tank with a family of sharks behind the first door. There's a deep hole with sharp venomous corals behind the second door. And there's a tank with piranhas behind the third door. Which door is more or less safe? The second door. The basement is full of water, so they can swim over the corals.
Loki is hiking in a chanted forest. Suddenly, he gets into a magic trap. A wicked wizard, whose name is Olaf, offers him a deal. I'll set you free if you manage to crack all my riddles. First of all, organize these objects in order of invention. Olaf shows Loki a wheel, a lighter, a vase, a bow, and a light bulb. Can you help him put them into the correct positions? The bow is the oldest invention. Then goes the wheel, the ancient Greek vase, and the light bulb. And finally, the lighter. Next, Olaf shows Loki 2 pictures of his favorite fairy. Can you spot 3 differences between them? Here they are. The next task for Loki is to guess a word. Even when it passes in front of the sun, it doesn't cast a shadow. What is it? Wind. Olaf shows Loki a table with magic potions and ingredients. He marked all the ingredients with the colors that they create when added to the potion. Loki has to guess which ingredients were not used in these 3 potions. Can you help him? We need red and yellow for the orange potion. For the blue one, dark blue and white. And for the dark green potion, we need green and black. So the extra ingredient is the pink one.
Yeah!
Loki cracks the riddle, and Olaf asks the next question. What stones will you never find in a river? Do you have any clue? Dry stones. The next task for Loki is to serve the wizard's girlfriends. Roxanne says, I don't want my cocktail to have any yellow fruits or berries. Sabrina says, I want my drink to have an ingredient that starts from the first letter of my name. And Cassandra says, I don't want any green or red ingredients in my drink. There are 3 cocktails in the fridge at the moment. Can you help Loki distribute the drinks among the ladies? The second cocktail is yellow, so it doesn't have anything red or green. It's for Roxanne. The first one is for Sabrina, because it has strawberries. And the third drink is a blueberry milkshake, so it fits Roxanne's order.
Oh, yeah.
Olaf is satisfied with Loki's intelligence, and he offers him a job.
Yeah!
Loki agrees and becomes the wizard's assistant.
Yeah!
His first task is to clean the kitchen.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Olaf goes into the woods to collect some herbs. He comes across a toxic swamp and immediately gets sick. He needs a special potion. So Olaf sends Loki a letter with his crow. I need your help. Here are several recipes. Don't go anywhere. Prepare one potion and send it to me with the crow. Which potion should Loki make? Can you help him? Olaf says that Loki shouldn't go out, which means he can only use the ingredients that they have in the house. So Loki can't cook the first and the third potion. As for the second one, all the necessary ingredients are in her kitchen. Olaf gets better, but he still needs to stay in bed. So he sends Loki to the pet shop. The task is to buy a new cat. Olaf wants it to look like the cat that lived with him before. It must have green eyes and a one-color tail. Also, it shouldn't have any black wool. And it shouldn't be tabby. Can you help Loki find the right cat for Olaf? Only this cutie meets all the requirements. The next day, Olaf sends Loki to a wild beach to collect some rare magic seaweeds. Suddenly, Loki sees a group of beautiful ladies standing on the shore. He wants to approach. But the ladies notice Loki and begin to move in the opposite direction. Loki runs after them on the sand along the water, but he can't catch up. Then Loki looks around and realizes that he was chasing fairies. How did he know? Loki ran after those ladies on the sand, but he can only see his own footprints. The fairies were flying. Loki dives under the water to collect the seaweed. He sees a little mermaid there. Then he floats to the surface and dives again. Can you spot three differences under the sea? Here they are. Olaf's daughter, Salma, is a talented young witch. She likes getting into trouble. And this time, she was put in jail. Loki comes to the police station to rescue her. He pays bail, and the police officer is going to release Salma. One of these ladies is about to be free. Can you guess who? Take a closer look at the photo in his hand. Salma has brown eyes, so he should release the second prisoner. Loki and Salma should go back to the wizard's house, but the enchanted forest has many unexpected surprises. There are three possible routes they can take. There's a fire-breathing dragon sleeping in the first passage. There's a young magician hanging out on the second road. He hates all women, and he turns them into stones every time he meets them. And the third road runs through a toxic lake. Breathing its vapor is fatal for any living being. Which way is more or less safe? The guys can take the second route. Salma isn't just a woman, she's a witch, so she can deflect the black magic. The guys keep on walking and see an amusement park. The owner is very upset. Someone has stolen many tickets from the register. Loki offers to investigate this case. First of all, he looks through the footage. He's sure that the thief is still in the park. He questions three suspects. Billy says, I rode the carousel and I got very sick, so I wouldn't ride anything else, even for free. Miles says, I'm celebrating my 17th birthday today. My friends and I rode the roller coaster 3 times, and now it's time to go home. And Jessica says, I only visit the Ferris wheel. It's my favorite. Miles has tricked Loki. He's too young for the roller coaster. There's a sign. People under 18 years of age can't ride it. Loki and Salma continue on their way and find 3 apple trees. Salma wants to pick some apples for a magic punch. but only one of the trees is safe. Can you guess which one? All the footsteps are leading to the first tree, but not a single animal walked away from it, so it probably has some hidden danger. There are some creepy runes on the trunk of the second tree, so it's probably cursed. Therefore, they should choose the third tree. The guys are picking the apples and putting them in Salma's hat, and suddenly they meet someone very curious. Crack this rebus if you want to know who. A bear. The guys run away from the bear and hide in a cave.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, Salma managed to collect 14 apples before the escape, because they met 7 hungry gnomes inside the cave.
Oh.
They demand payment for the shelter. How can Salma divide the fruits among the gnomes so that each gnome could get an equal amount of oranges? It's impossible because Salma doesn't have any oranges, only apples. Finally, Loki and Salma return to Olaf's house. Loki takes a look at the porch and says, "Wait a minute, something has changed since I last saw this porch. Look, I have a picture. Can you spot all the changes?" The runes at the door are now reflected. The plant from this pot is gone. The curtains have changed color, and the number of candles is different. Loki enters the house and finds Olaf unconscious on the floor. Someone put a sleeping spell on him and stole his magic tools. Loki interrogates 3 suspects among Olaf's neighbors. Cassandra says, "I just got home from a pumpkin festival. Everyone can verify my words." Ambrose says, "I've been retreating and meditating in my basement for a week. I have no idea who did it." And Roxane says, "It wasn't me, but I guess it was Cassandra. She's just jealous that Olaf decided to date me." Who did it? Take a closer look at the witch's cauldron in Ambrose's house. There's an engraving saying Olaf's property, so he's the thief. 3 ladies are hanging out at the park separately. One of them is the owner of this cat. Can you guess who? The cat belongs to the blonde lady. It tore her t-shirt. Lucy lives in an apartment building. She returns home from work, but she can't get inside because someone changed the password for the combination lock on the door. Can you help her get inside? There's a hint on this piece of paper. You need to move all the digits exactly 1 position back. And this is how we get the code. 8, 1, 5, 3. Lucy gets a message from her sister. She sent her a picture of her nephew. Can you find any mistakes here? The bucket handle is attached to the bottom. Lucy is an actress. She goes to an important audition at a large production company. In the lobby, she meets other actors: Bob, Nellie, Sally, and Kelly. Bob has a crush on one of these ladies. Can you guess who? All 3 ladies show some non-verbal signals of attraction. But take a look at Bob's body language. His torso is directed towards Nellie, so he's probably attracted to her. Lucy wanders around the lobby and sees these 4 posters on the wall. Which image doesn't belong here? Except for the bicycle need fuel, so it's extra. After the audition, Lucy is heading to the parking lot. Find her Volkswagen car there. Search them all, find 3 suspects, and question them. Doing here. Karen says, I'm looking for a wedding dress for my sister. Kyle says, I'm just doing my weekly groceries as usual. And Pam says, honestly, I came here for the sake of visiting the restroom. Who's lying? Karen. What kind of bride would trust someone else to choose her wedding dress? The next day, Lucy goes to another audition. She enters the lobby and immediately spots a guest from another planet among these people. Can you see it too? Over here. Lucy is meeting her father, Roger. He has just returned from a very cool trip. He rode to the countryside to see a famous tourist spot on Thursday. Roger loved the place and decided to stay for a few days. He spent 4 days there and returned home on Thursday. How come? Easy. He rode a horse, and its name was Thursday. Roger brought Lucy a gift from his trip. Here's a hint to guess what's inside the box. When you say goodbye, I'm what you need to tie. I come as a couple and go wherever you run. Who am I? Shoes. Lucy and Roger are starving. Thankfully, the cook has just finished baking fresh bagels. Can you spot which one is different from the others? Each bagel has 6 white and 7 black sesame seeds on top. Each except this one. It has 7 white seeds and 6 black. After dinner, Lucy and Roger go for a walk. Can you guess why Lucy is looking behind? The guy's nose is very similar to Roger's. She suspects that her father might have a secret son. Lucy enters the door and sees a creepy secret lab with a caged monster. The door behind her slams shut, and now Lucy needs to get around an electric trap to escape. What lever does she need to press to do so? This one is just a light switch, and this lever will release the monster. So Lucy needs the third one. Lucy turns off the trap and enters the next room. She looks around and sees a metal door, but unfortunately, it's locked. And it requires not just 1 password, but 3. Lucy has just 1 attempt to make it right. She finds a sign with 3 words next to the door: happy, coffee, and paper. Can you guess the passwords for each keyhole? Let's take a closer look at the shapes of each keyhole and the shapes of the passwords. Some letters are bigger than others, and each word can fit right in one of the holes. So coffee should be put in the first keyhole. Paper fits into the second one, and the happy word is perfect for the third keyhole. Lucy finishes the job earlier and decides to surprise Sam. She arrives at the mountain village where Sam should currently be, and questions the locals. The car mechanic says, I haven't seen any strangers recently. You should ask the barista. The barista says, sorry, I don't remember any new faces in my coffee shop. And then Lucy comes across an abandoned farm. Its owner says, I've been living here on my own for a year now. I don't let strangers step on my land and especially into my house. Who's lying? Let's take a closer look at the land around the farmer's house. There are 2 pairs of fresh footprints. These lead in and out of the house, but the second pair of footprints only leads inside the house. Therefore, the farmer is having a guest. But he said he didn't let anyone in, therefore he's a liar. Lucy continues her journey and sees two ladies in the countryside. They seem to be alone, but are they? Three faces are hiding in this picture. Can you find them? Here they are. The ladies tell Lucy that Sam went to the mountains. She follows his route and soon comes across a surreal mountain with carvings that look like animals. Can you spot 8 horses in this picture? Here they are. Lucy goes up the mountain and finds a fancy spa hotel. Lucy finds Sam in the hotel restaurant. They're having dinner with a stunning view. Can you spot anything odd here? Watermelons don't grow on trees. The cook brings the guys the best meals. But let's take a closer look at this picture. There's something wrong here. Can you guess what? There's a cockroach under the table. The local music band begins a concert in the restaurant. Lucy takes 2 pictures. Can you spot 3 differences between them? Here they are. Lucy and Sam pack some fruits and water and go explore the local caves. And eventually, they get lost. They wander around for a while and find 3 doors leading outside the caves. But each door has a hidden surprise. There's a family of hungry elephants behind the first door. The second door is filled with toxic gas that is fatal for any mammal. And behind the third door, there's a booth that teleports people to random galaxies. Which way is more or less safe? The guys should choose the first door. Elephants don't eat humans. They like grass and fruits. So Lucy and Sam can distract the animals by giving them the fruits and escape. Lucy decides to visit the local hot springs. She locks her stuff in the dressing room and goes bathing. Unfortunately, someone breaks into her locker while she's chilling. Her gold watch is gone. Lucy questions 3 ladies standing nearby. Nina says, "I'm a millionaire. I can buy anything." Alice says, "It wasn't me. I think it was Nina." And Ashley says, "We should call the police. My earrings are gone too." Who's the thief? Ashley. Take a look at her hair bun. She hid the stolen watch inside it.
Hey Sherlock, I see you're ready for a new challenge. I've got just the thing for you. A jewelry store owner reported a theft. A detective arrived and interviewed 3 employees, John, Sarah, and Mike. John claimed he had been in the storeroom. Sarah said that one customer had been having problems with his credit card, and she had been trying to help him. And Mike insisted he had been in the office. The detective immediately realized who was lying. Have you figured it out too? Sarah is lying. Have you noticed that note on the window? Cash only? The store doesn't accept credit cards, so Sarah must be the thief. 4 guys having 5 rocks each were playing a game in which they needed to throw rocks at a small island in the water. The first guy succeeded in throwing 3 rocks at the island, but one of his rocks sank. The third guy's aim was so bad that all his rocks sank. The fourth guy was quite good. At least none of his rocks sank. And the second guy was actually the winner, but he was struck by a rock in the head and was rushed to the hospital. Who threw a stone at the second guy? It was the first guy. He still had 1 rock left, remember? In the morning, Mrs. Williams cooked a chocolate cake for her husband's birthday. But when she came back home in the evening, the cake was gone.
Oh no!
The woman knew that one of her kids had eaten the cake. When she questioned them, she got the following answers. Albert said, "Hannah did it." Hannah said, "It was Cedric." And Cedric said, "Hannah is lying." Assuming that the culprit lies and the other kids tell the truth, who ate the cake? It was Hannah. When Albert said it was Hannah, he was telling the truth. When Hannah said Cedric did it, she was lying. And when Cedric responded, "Hannah is lying," he was telling the truth. Look at these words. One of them is odd. Can you figure out which one? It's the word fourth. It should be spelled as fourth. Look at these two couples. There's something strange with one of them. Which one? The couple on the left is weird. Look, they don't get reflected in the mirror behind their backs. Are they vampires or what? Creepy. Agents Yellow, Red, and Green each have a green badge, a yellow badge, and a red badge, but none of them has a badge color that matches their name. They were invited to a conference at the headquarters. The agent with the green badge said, "I've solved 2 cases," to which Agent Red replied sarcastically, "Of what, missing kittens?" What color is each agent's badge? Pay attention to the fact that it was the agent with the green badge and not Agent Green who was talking to Agent Red. Since the agent with the green badge spoke to Agent Red, we know that Agent Red doesn't have the green badge. We already know he doesn't have the red badge either. Therefore, he must have a yellow badge. The agent with the green badge cannot be Agent Red, nor can he be Agent Green. Therefore, he must be Agent Yellow. So, Agent Yellow has the green badge and Agent Red has the yellow badge, which means Agent Green must have the red badge. In the morning, Agent Black had a fight with his wife, Agent White. Later in the day, he sent her a coded message as an apology. It went like this. Can you figure out what this message means? Agent Black told his wife, "Too wise you are, too wise you be. I see you are too wise for me." Now it's time to turn on your analytical skills to the max. Can you figure out which number is missing here? The number you need is 78. If you read these numbers upside down, you'll get 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. Another riddle to check how sharp your wit is. You can't see it, but it can see through you. What is it? It's an X-ray. It loses the head in the morning and only gets it back at night. What is it? It's a pillow. They are two brothers on opposite sides of the road, but they never see each other. What are they? They're your eyes. The combined age of the father and the son is 66 years. The age of the father is the age of the son, but with the digits reversed. Can you figure out how old they are? A little hint. There might be more than one correct answer. The father might be 60 years old, then his son is 6 years old. Or the father is 51 years old and the son is 15. And finally, the father can be 42 years old and the son will then be 24. Try to answer this question without thinking. You have 10 fingers on your hands. How many fingers are there on 10 hands? I bet you had the urge to say 100 fingers, but no, the correct answer is 50 fingers. You see two women entering an elevator in a large office building. Which one doesn't work there? The woman on the left is wearing a name tag. It means she works for the company here. So the other woman is probably a guest. A couple decided to name their newborn baby Jason. Try to understand how this name is connected to the name of the couple's other children. J in July, A in August, S in September, O in October, and N in November. And we get Jason. Can you find two bizarre things about this picture? There's a pink coconut over there, and TV antennas sticking out of the sand. Your next task is to figure out which of these men is her husband. It's the guy on the right. Look, the girl keeps a picture of him as wallpaper on her phone. Which of these three ladies is not pregnant? It's the one on the right. If you look at her attentively, you'll see that she has a pillow under her blouse. One of these princesses isn't real. Which one? It's the one on the right. Have you noticed that one of her fingers is green? She's probably not human. How many books can you find in this picture? There are 5 of them here. See? Which of these guys is hungry? The guy on the right has already eaten. See that piece of lettuce stuck between his teeth? But the guy on the left is longingly gazing at a picture of a burger on his phone. He must be the hungry one. Can you find a candle in this picture? Here it is. Oh-ho! If you manage to spot it, you have an eagle eye. Jack posted a new photo from his trip on social media. How many likes did this photo get if only one statement is true? Unfortunately, Jack's photo got 0 likes. Hopefully, he wasn't too upset. Marcus woke up in a dark basement with just one candle burning on the table. He saw 3 doors in one of the walls and 3 keys lying on the table. How many attempts did the guy need to figure out the key for each door? He needed 6 attempts at the most. 3 of them for the first key, 2 attempts for the second key, and 2 remaining doors. And just 1 attempt for the last key. But if Marcus is extremely lucky, he might need just 3 attempts. Hey, dear friend, do you feel like your brain needs some action? I've got just the thing. Concentrate and try to prove you're the best detective out there.
Yeah.
One lady had 2 admirers. One day, she urgently needed cash, but both men told her they were not ready to give her money. At the same time, the gentleman promised to buy her whatever she wanted. How did the young lady get out of the situation? The woman brought her first admirer to a clothing store, where she chose an expensive coat. The man paid, and they both left. The next day, the lady came to the same place with her second admirer and acquired the same coat. The third time she visited the store herself in order to return one of the purchases. Voila! Neither of her admirers was going to suspect her of returning his gift, and she had the cash she needed. Two girls, Susan and Gabrielle, differed from other people. They always told the truth, except for their birthdays. On their birthdays, the girls only told a lie. One day, on June 15th, each of the girls was asked when her birthday was. Susan said her birthday was the day before. Gabrielle replied that her birthday was going to be the next day. The next day, the girls were asked the same question, and oddly enough, they answered the same. Try to figure out when Susan and Gabrielle's birthdays are. Susan answered yesterday, twice in a row, so she lied once and told the truth once, which means that one of these days is her birthday. Let's say Susan's birthday is on June 15th. On this day, she lied, answering yesterday. And the next day, she told the truth, answering yesterday. Likewise, on the 15th of June, Gabrielle told the truth, answering that her birthday was the next day. On her birthday, June 16th, she lied again, answering tomorrow. So, Susan's birthday is on June 15th, and Gabrielle has her birthday on June 16th. In a grocery store, Claudia and her husband Jack met Elon, who, oddly enough, was the grandfather of the wife of her sister's mother-in-law's only son. I know, it's a lot. What's Elon to Claudia and Jack? Elon is Claudia's grandfather, and besides, he is the father of Jack's mother-in-law. Melissa met her guests who came to her birthday party. Catherine came before Bob, Aaron, and after Raynon. Bob arrived before Raynon, and Timothy came after Aaron. Which guest arrived last? Timothy was the last one to come. 3 guys, Dylan, Brandon, and Sean, are friends with these girls, Valerie, Polly, and Olivia. Soon, the company splits into pairs because it turns out that Polly doesn't like playing tennis. Dylan is Valerie's brother, and he often goes to the tennis court with his girlfriend. Brandon asks Dylan's sister out on a date. Who does Sean spend time with? Sean spends time with Polly. You want to send an expensive item to a friend. You have a box that is larger than the item itself. You have several padlocks with keys. The box has a ring that is more than enough for a lock, but your friend doesn't have the keys to any of your locks. What should you do if you can't send the key in an unlocked box, as it may be copied? Put the item in the box and close it with a padlock. Send the box to your friend. The friend closes the box with his own padlock and sends the box back to you. You open your lock and send the box to your friend once again. He only needs to open his own lock. At school, in one of the classes, there were 4 pairs of twins. One day, all the students came to a school event with their parents, and it turned out that there were 85 people in total. How many students are in the class? Since each pair of twins most likely has different parents, then 4 pairs of twins and their parents make up 16 people. The remaining 69 people are ordinary students and their parents. Each of the non-twin students has 2 parents, so the number of non-twin students is 69 divided by 3 equals 23 students. So in total, there are 23 plus 8 equals 31 students in the class. Welcome back to our show. Before the break, Mr. Sanders here made it to our grand finale. How do you feel, Mr. Sanders? Nervous. Okay, now to win the main prize of $1 million, all you have to do is name 100 words that do not contain the letter A in 90 seconds. Start the clock. Can you help Mr. Sanders win the prize? He just needs to start counting really fast from 1 to 100. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There is no letter A in any of these numbers. Check for yourself. To crack this riddle, you need to think outside the box. A man gave one son 10 cents, and his other son was given 15 cents. What time is it? It's 1:45. The man gave away a total of 25 cents. He divided this money between 2 people. Therefore, he gave a quarter to 2. Now, this riddle is kinda tricky, but I believe in your logical thinking skills. You can easily tile an 8x8 chessboard with 32 2x1 tiles, meaning that you can place these 32 tiles on the board and cover every square. But if you take away 2 opposite corners from the chessboard, it will become impossible to tile this new 62 square board. Can you explain why tiling this board isn't possible? Let's color our chessboard, alternating with red and blue tiles. Then we need to color all of your tiles. Half of each tile should be red, and the other half should be blue. Whenever you place a tile down, you can always make it so that the red part of the tile is on a red square, and the blue part of the tile is on a blue square. Since you'll need to place 31 tiles on the board to cover all 62 squares, you would have to be able to cover 31 red squares and 31 blue squares. But by taking away the 2 corners, you're taking away 2 red squares, leaving 30 red squares and 32 blue squares. There is no way to cover 30 red squares and 32 blue squares with 31 tiles, since these tiles can only cover 31 red squares and 31 blue squares. And thus, tiling this board is not possible. Jason agreed to look after his friend's dog while the guy was away. He fell in love with a cute little Pomeranian, but Jason's wife and kids didn't like the pup. One evening, the man came back from work and discovered the dog was missing. Jason called the police. When they arrived, they started questioning Karen, Jason's wife. The woman said she had been sleeping all day. Then the police officer asked, "And what were the children doing?" "They were playing in the yard. Then I told them to go inside and do their homework." After that, the woman was accused of kicking the dog out. How did the police officer figure out it was Karen? The woman claimed she'd been sleeping all day. But then, how could she tell the kids to go outside? Stephen called the police to report his valuables were missing. When the police arrived, the man told them his story. "I went on a camping trip alone. I just had gotten there and set up my tent when it started to rain heavily. I hurried to find some dry firewood. I left my bag with my wallet and all the documents inside the tent. When I came back, everything was gone." The police officers didn't believe Stephen and fined him for making a false call. How did they understand the man was lying? Stephen said he had set up the tent before it started to rain, but then why is there a big puddle inside? Holly, Polly, and Molly are standing side by side in swimsuits. Holly and Polly are sad, and Molly is happy. But the sad women smile while the happy one is crying. Why? This is a beauty contest. Molly's won the Beauty Queen crown and she's crying with happiness. Mike is a backpacker. He wants to cut his hair and shave after a long journey. So he stays in a small town with 2 hairdressers only. Mike enters the first barbershop and looks around. Everything is tidy and chic. The design is amazing. The hairdresser, Zach, greets Mike and offers his services. He looks just as chic as his salon. His outfit and hairstyle are beautiful and he's freshly shaved. Mike decides to check the second hairdresser out before making any decisions. He enters the second salon and sees a sloppy interior. The floors aren't swept and the furniture is old. The second hairdresser, Frank, is just as unkempt as his salon. He's poorly shaved and his haircut is bad. Mike decides to use Frank's services. Why? Since there's only 2 hairdressers in the city, it means that Zach shaved and cut Frank and vice versa. Therefore, Frank does the better job. Ron and Megan are best friends forever. Ron has an equal number of siblings. Megan has 3 times as many sisters as Ron, and only as many as Ron's parents have children. How many sisters does Megan have, and how many siblings does Ron have? Ron has 1 brother and 1 sister, and Megan has 3 sisters. An evil wizard bewitched 3 ladies, Rose, Lily, and Daisy. He turned them into flowers. Now they're supposed to stay in his garden. Yet at night, one of them can come home and stay there for a while. In the morning, the wizard's spell will return her back to the garden and turn her back into a flower. It's Lily's turn to go out. She visits her boyfriend David and tells him, "If you come to the field before noon today, you'll see me in the form of a flower. Rip me off and I'll be free from witchcraft and stay with you." David follows her instructions, but all the flowers are identical. How can he recognize his girlfriend? Since Lily spent the night in his house and not in the field, she shouldn't be covered with any dew. This is the sign that will help David recognize her. Kyle is exploring an abandoned village. Can you help him find any batteries or food here? Over here! What about this house? Can you spot any jewelry here? Ready to see the answer? There's a golden watch hanging among the building tools. Let's take a look at this interior. Can you spot any animals here? Hello? Mrs. Green is a pretty elderly lady. She doesn't want to overwork and hires an assistant to clean her house, Shelley. They agree that Shelley will come every Sunday and do a certain job and get $2 per visit. But if Shelley doesn't show up for some reason, Mrs. Green will charge her $3. After 15 weeks, Mrs. Green owes Shelley the same sum as Shelley owes her. How many times did Shelley skip work? Shelley went to work 9 times and earned $18. She skipped work for 6 days and lost the same amount. Sam is a former sailor who lives on a farm. One day, he decides to go to the city to do a bunch of things. He buys a new coat at a clothing store. Then he buys some millet for his beloved canary in the Hungry Bird shop. After that, Sam goes to the hairdresser to get a haircut. And finally, he visits the city bank to receive his salary. At this time of the year, banks are only open on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. All the hairdressers, on the other hand, are closed on Saturdays. The Hungry Bird is closed on Thursdays and Fridays. Can you figure out the day of the week when Sam went to the town? On Tuesday. Henry got lost in a maze. He can step on the swamp bumps, but he should definitely stay away from the zombie burrows. Can you help him escape? Ready to see the correct route? He should move this way. Jim and his wife are going to a restaurant. The problem is that their mothers decided to join them, but Jim has a small 2-seater car. His mother doesn't get along either with his wife or her mother. How should Jim organize the trip to avoid any family drama? Jim should take his mother to the restaurant first. Then he should return for his wife, give her a ride, and leave her in the restaurant. Then he should give his mother a ride back home and leave her there. And take his mother-in-law to the restaurant so that she could join Jim's wife. And finally, Jim should return for his mother. Tyler is changing a tire on his car. Suddenly, he drops all the 4-wheel nuts onto a skewer grate. He can't get them out. Tyler is desperate. But thankfully, Billy is walking by. He comes up with an idea that will allow Tyler to continue on his way. Do you suggest some way of attaching the wheel? Oh yeah. Do I need to get the fallen nuts out for this? Oh no. Do I need to use any attachments that are not usually found in the car? Oh no. Is it a smart idea? Easy to put into practice? Oh yeah. What's the idea? Billy suggested unscrewing one nut from each of the 3 wheels and fixing the 4th wheel with them. This way, Tyler will be able to drive to the nearest repair service on firmly fixed wheels. Alice is meeting her new boyfriend, Kyle. He invites her to a boat party. The guys go up on deck and meet the captain, Andrew. He has loads of cool stories. I survived a shipwreck this year. 5 months on a deserted island. I just shaved for the first time in 15 months. Kyle's very impressed, but Alice doesn't believe him. Is the captain lying or not? He had a beard for the last 5 months. The skin on his cheeks and chin should be lighter. Liar! Monica is a college teacher. It's the day of a very important exam. She distributes tests among her students. Let's begin. Good luck, everyone. But suddenly, the fire alarm systems to blare loudly. Everybody leaves the class and goes outside. But it turns out to be a false alarm. 15 minutes later, Monica and her students return to the class. Oh no! Someone stole a paper with the test answers from Monica's desk. She questions 4 suspects. Kim says, "My alarm didn't work this morning, so I was late for the test. I arrived just now and entered the class with everyone else." Nellie says, "Why would I need to steal the answers? I'm the best student." Paul says, "I heard some guys in the toilet whispering about the fire alarm. Maybe they sabotaged the exams on purpose." And Mike says, I was sitting by the window, so when I heard the fire alarm, I jumped out of the window and ran as far away from the building as possible. Who's lying? Kim. She was among the students when Monica distributed the tests, so she wasn't late for the test. Tilda takes a flight to Florida to visit her sister. She takes a brief nap. After a while, she wakes up and finds out that her fancy sunglasses are gone. Tilda questions 3 people nearby. Lauren says, "I was watching a movie. I didn't look around." Serge says, "Sorry, I was sleeping too." And Rose says, "Look, lady, I've just purchased the coolest sunnies in the world. Why would I need yours?" Who's the thief? Nobody. Tilda lost her sunglasses on her own head. Will and Lily are best friends, but they live in different cities. Will misses her very much and goes to her city by train. On the train, Will puts his gold watch on the table and makes himself comfortable. The train goes into a dark tunnel for a few seconds. When it gets light again, Will can't find his watch. There are 3 people in his compartment. He questions them all. "Who stole my watch?" Meg says, "I was sleeping all the way." Xavier replies, "I went to order a cup of coffee." And Dan says, "I was waiting until it got light again to keep on reading." Who's the thief? Xavier. He hid the watch on his wrist under the sleeve. A watchmaker calls the police and says that he's just been robbed. Inspector Bold takes the case and rushes to the watchmaker's house.
I was finishing my work at about 8 p.m. Suddenly, the power was cut off. I went to the terrace to fix it. Suddenly, 4 men knocked me over and tied my hands. They stole all the money and left. At 10 p.m., I managed to get rid of the ropes. I fixed the lights and called the police.
Inspector Bold doesn't believe this story. Why? If the watchmaker had no electricity, his digital clock would have been 2 hours slow. He faked the robbery to get insurance money. Mr. Green throws a party in his mansion for all his friends and colleagues. He puts on his favorite shirt and diamond cufflinks. The party is a success. It gets dark and all the guests go out to the terrace to watch fireworks. Suddenly, Mr. Green notices that one of his cufflinks is gone. He looks around and quickly spots the thief. Who stole the cufflink? Take a look at this lady. She hid it in her hair. Busted! Molly goes for a walk with her friends. She has just gotten her first salary and she wants to buy some candies. Molly notices a small shop with chocolate and lollipops. They approach the shop. Molly takes her money out of her wallet, but a sudden gust of wind blows the bills away. Molly gathers her money, but one $10 bill is still missing. One of her friends must have taken it. Who took the bill? This guy. He's standing on it. Mike and Ike are brothers. Mike is a millionaire, and Ike is broke. Can you guess who is who? It's not his car, so he's probably Ike. Meanwhile, the cyclist has a luxurious car key. Therefore, he must be Mike. One of these ladies is broke. Can you guess who? It's the lady on the left. Her phone is fake. Karen works in a business center. One day, she was found unconscious in the bathroom. Doctors conclude that she was poisoned. The detective watches the CCTV. He sees 3 people who talked to Karen that day. The detective interviews these people. He asks one question. How well did you know her? Peter says, Laura worked in my department. She used to bring papers for me to sign from time to time. Kelly replies, We got along pretty well. Sometimes we had lunch together, and we plan to go to a concert next week. And Sandra says, I don't know her at all. We only talked once when she asked me what time it was. She lost her phone, and that's not surprising. Karen is so absent-minded. She's always losing things. Who poisoned Karen? Sandra. First, she said that she didn't know Karen at all. Then she called her by name and started talking about her traits. Lauren meets Jack on a dating app. They chat for a while, and today is their first date offline. Lauren arrives at the meeting point and sees Jack, but something's wrong with this guy. Can you guess what? Take a closer look at his profile picture. He has a mole on his cheek. Where did it go? Kevin is walking in the woods. Suddenly, a wicked witch pops out of nowhere and kidnaps him. Kevin wakes up in her cabin. The witch says,
You're my servant now. Clean up the kitchen while I'm gone. And don't even think of running away. The first door is guarded by hungry dogs. There's a vampire behind the second door. And there's toxic gas behind the third door. You'll never get out of here.
but Kevin still finds a way to escape. Can you guess how? He used the garlic from the kitchen to chase away the vampire and escaped through the second door. There's a huge drama taking place in a prison for dangerous criminals. The prisoners have broken out of their cells and now they're trying to escape from the territory of the prison. The local manager realizes that the only way to solve this issue is to ask a superhero for help. But their fees are very high. That's why the manager can only afford to hire one superhero. Mr. Scanman can see and pass through any obstacle. Magnetus has the ability to control all the metals in the world. And Mr. Fireman controls sparks and evokes fire with the power of his mind. Who can help stop the prison uprising? Magnetus will be able to lock all the cells and put handcuffs on everyone. So he's the best choice for this task. Rick takes 2 pictures of his girlfriend. Can you find 5 differences between them? Ready to see the differences? Here they are. Nina goes to the supermarket. She picks up all the products and goes to the cashier to pay. Oh no! Her expensive leather wallet is gone! Nina interrogates 3 suspects standing nearby. Mike says, I didn't see your wallet at all. I was too busy choosing chocolate bars. Stan says, I'm a vegan lady. I don't use leather wallets. And I make all my payments with my phone. And Stella says, I think it was Mike. He doesn't look like someone who can afford to buy so much gourmet food. Who's lying? Let's take a closer look at Stan's shirt pocket. There's a leather wallet inside it, but he said that he only pays via his phone. Therefore, his story is a lie. Emma is a conductor on a train. She makes her way through the cars and finally arrives at the first class. There are only 3 passengers. Emma asks to see their IDs. The passengers hand over their cards. As Emma scans the cards, she finds out that one of the IDs is fake. Can you guess which one? The first ID is fake. Take a look at this guy's birth date. February 31st doesn't exist. Richard returns home from work and discovers that someone has robbed his apartment. He calls the police and they question 3 neighbors living on his floor. Sheila says, "I was outdoors with my boyfriend all day. We arrived home 1 minute before you came over." Zach says, "I was sleeping with my earplugs after a long night shift and you woke me up. I didn't notice anything suspicious." And Alice says, "I spent the whole day working from home. I only went out once, about 2 hours ago, to do my laundry in the basement." Who's lying? Let's take a look at Sheila's kitchen. She said they had returned just 1 minute ago, but there's a pot with boiling water on the stove. It takes more than a minute to boil so much water, so her story is fake. 3 friends are hanging out at a barbecue, but one of them has been replaced by a monster. Can you guess who? This lady. Her eyes are too yellow for a regular human. And now let's find out how sharp your vision is. Can you spot these 3 items in this mess? Ready to see the correct answer? Here they are. What about this location? Can you spot these 3 items? Over here. Kai wakes up on a cruise ship. He's in a cabin in total darkness. He has only 1 matchstick. What should he light first? A newspaper, a candle, or a lamp? Kai should light the matchstick first. Kai leaves the cabin and walks down the hallway. To reach the deck, he needs to enter one of these 3 doors, but each passage has an obstacle. A huge venomous snake is crawling behind the first door. There's a kraken with creepy tentacles waiting behind the second door. And there's a hungry megalodon with sharp teeth behind the third door. What should Kai choose? Kai should pick the third door. Megalodon can't survive without water, so it's not dangerous anymore. Kai goes out on the open deck. He spots 4 weird details right away. Can you see them too? There's Saturn in the sky instead of the sun. This table doesn't have any legs. There's a hula hoop hanging on the deck instead of a life buoy. And this passenger's shadow doesn't match the reality. Kai is starving. He enters the ship's dining hall. Unfortunately, he missed dinner hours. The waiter says that they have only 3 meals left, but only one of them is safe to eat. Can you guess which one? Let's take a look at this pizza. Can you see these metal nuts among the topping ingredients? It's definitely not safe. As for this pudding, there's a spider stuck in it, so Kai should probably choose the sandwich. Kai looks around and sees 3 security guards having lunch, but one of them is actually a thief. Can you spot this person? It's the lady in the middle. Take a closer look at her hat. There's a fake logo on it. The star doesn't match the logo that the other 2 ladies are wearing. Also, she's wearing a fake uniform. Her clothes are underneath. Kai decides to follow the fake security guard. She enters the storage room and puts something inside a safe. Kai wants to find out what she's hiding there, so he waits until she leaves and tries to open the safe, but it's locked. So he needs to enter a 4-digit code. There's a clue in this room. Can you help Kai crack the code? Let's take a look at these 4 suitcases. The number of stripes on them implies the digits in the code, so the password is 3514. Kai opens the safe and finds 2 similar gemstones inside it. One of them is a real diamond, and another is a fake copy made from quartz. How can Kai quickly find out which diamond is real without using any special equipment? He should drop both gemstones into the water. Quartz will float and sink slower because it's less dense than the real diamond. Kai tells the ship's security guards about the thief and goes to his cabin. Suddenly, he sees his neighbor Molly in the corridor. She's very upset. What happened? Someone robbed my cabin while I was hanging out by the pool. They took all my jewelry. Kai explores the space and says, "The thief must be your enemy. It's not a regular robbery." How did he know? Take a closer look at the mess. The thief opened the lipsticks and smeared them on the floor on purpose. Also, all the shampoo bottles are spilled, and Molly's dresses are torn. Why would an ordinary thief waste time on these things? Therefore, the criminal had an intention to cause as much damage as possible. Kai checks the cabin with a special ultraviolet flashlight. Can you help him spot 3 clues? Here they are. Kai goes for a walk around the deck trying to find further clues. Can you spot a superhero around the passengers? Over here. Kai returns to his cabin. Can you find 3 emojis in this room? Ready to see the answer? Here they are. Kai can't find the key to his suitcase. Can you find it in this variety? It's over here. Kai goes to the local smoothie cafe to get some fresh juice. Can you spot 1 extra emoji on this image board? This cactus is the only inedible emoji here. Kai returns to his cabin and sees that someone drew a threat on his door. Kai looks around the hallway and finds 3 suspects. He questions them right away. What were you doing within the last 15 minutes? Sheila says, I was just taking selfies on the deck for my social media. And then I went to my cabin to put on another outfit. You can see it for yourself if you don't believe me. Lily says, I got sunburned in the morning, so I was just laying in my bed, eating and watching my favorite show. And Jean says, I've just finished my workout in the gym, and I'd like to have a shower if you don't mind. Who's lying? Sheila, take a look at the dress in her selfies. It's the same outfit that she's wearing now. Therefore, her story is fake. The ship's security guards interrogate Sheila and check her bags. Can you see anything suspicious in her luggage? This shoe is clearly larger than all the others, and it doesn't have a pair, so she's probably hiding something inside it. The next morning, Kai wakes up very early and goes to the pool. It's almost empty. There's only one beautiful lady chilling on a sun lounger. Kai approaches her to introduce himself, but suddenly, he changes his mind. Why? There are 2 inflatable flamingos in the pool, and also 2 cocktails, one in the lady's hand, and another one probably belongs to her spouse, because she has a tan line on her ring finger. Kai decides to go to the dining area to have breakfast. Can you spot anything odd? What's wrong with this lamp? After breakfast, Kai goes to explore the ship and gets lost in its corridors. Can you figure out which path will lead him to the center? Only path C will actually lead Kai to the center. Kai enters the exit door, but there's another trap. The door slams shut behind him. He needs to enter a 4-digit code to open the combination lock and escape. Luckily, he finds a note with a hint. Can you figure out the code? To solve this mystery, we need to count the number of identical figures in this picture, and the code is 2463. Kai returns to his cabin after 3 hours of absence. Wow, there's a huge gift box on his bed. The card says it's from a secret admirer. Only 3 staff members had access to his cabin today. Kai questions them all. The repairman says, "I entered your cabin 30 minutes ago to fix the sink. It's okay now. But anyways, I'm too broke to bring gifts to the passengers." The cleaning lady says, "I entered your room about an hour ago to change the bed sheets and take out the trash, but I didn't see any gifts." And the manager says, "I have a master key, but it's always in my pocket. Nobody warned me about any gift deliveries." Who's lying? The cleaning lady said she had taken out the trash, but the trash bin in Kai's cabin is full. And there are many flies around it, which probably means that it's not very fresh. So her story must be fake. Now, he's trapped on a deserted island. He only has a mirror and a piece of wood. What should he do to survive? Kai can use the mirror to reflect sunlight onto the wood, creating a signal fire so that the rescuers could find him.
Adam was driving home late at night when he noticed he was about to run out of gas. He stopped at a gas station to fill his gas tank and buy some snacks. Inside, there was a cashier and another customer dressed in black. When Adam came up to the employee to pay, she told him $5.05. Adam paid, went outside, and called the police to report an emergency. Why did he do it? The cash register showed $18.35, but the cashier said $5.05, which looks like SOS. You have a sock drawer. It has 4 black socks, 8 brown socks, 2 white socks, and 8 tan socks. You need to pull out a matching pair of socks in the dark. There is no light and you can't see the socks. Well, that'll teach you to pay your electric bill on time. Meanwhile, how many socks do you need to pull out in the dark to get 1 matching pair of socks? Five. You only have 4 different color of socks. If you pick 5 socks, you will definitely get 1 pair of matching socks. A fairy had an assistant, Dwarf Martin. Once, the fairy asked Martin to visit a powerful wizard and pick up 3 potions she had ordered. The dwarf received the parcel, but on his way back, he got into a real trap. In front of him, there were 3 doors, and he couldn't get past them. He had to go through one of them. But behind the first one, there was a bottomless abyss. Behind the second door, there were venomous spiders. Even their webs were poisonous. And the third door was hiding a raging fire. Martin couldn't choose the door, but he came up with an idea. He decided to use one of the potions the wizard had given him. He had the potion of invisibility, the potion of speed, and the potion of forgetfulness. Which potion should Martin drink, and which door should he choose? His best option is to drink the potion of speed and dash through the fire so it doesn't really hurt him. Detective Brown rushed to an expensive restaurant. Someone had stolen a gold spoon there. If the detective didn't find the real culprit, the waiter would have big problems. Luckily, there were still a lot of people in the restaurant, and Detective Brown questioned the main suspects. A group of friends said they were celebrating a birthday. They wouldn't spoil their party this way. A cheerful man said he'd just been wandering about and had dropped by to check out this place. And a weird-looking guy answered that his wife had left him, and he had come to the restaurant to take his mind off his problems. Can you help the detective find the criminal? The second man lied. He said he had been to this restaurant for the first time. But look, he's wearing a hat with the restaurant's logo. Gotcha. Look at these three people who seem to be having fun. They're hanging on a tree, but one of them is a ghost. Can you guess who it is? The woman on the left has just rolled her eyes. That's why she looks so creepy. The guy in the middle is wearing a mask. But unlike the others, the hair of the lady on the left ignores gravity. She must be the ghost. Brave warrior Richard set off on an adventure together with his two assistants. Once he came across a kingdom where a princess was locked in a high tower. Richard decided to save her and, who knows, maybe even marry her later. First things first, he went to the king, but the ruler didn't give the warrior any hints. Luckily, Richard's assistants found a secret map, but they weren't bright enough to figure out what it meant and which window of which castle Richard needed to climb into to save the princess. Can you help them? First, we need to determine which castle is the right one. Aha, here it is. Just look at its windows. Now, we just need to follow the arrows and find the correct window. Yep, that's right. A very large truck needs to cross a 20-mile-long bridge. Unfortunately, the bridge can only hold the weight of 10,000 pounds. Even a single extra pound will make the bridge collapse. Luckily, the weight of the truck is exactly 10,000 pounds. The driver moves the car carefully and crosses almost 85% of the distance of the bridge. He stops to get a small break when suddenly a bird lands on the truck. What's going to happen now? Is the bridge going to collapse? The bridge won't collapse. The truck has already traveled 85% of the total distance and has used some gas, so the extra weight of the bird doesn't add any extra load to the bridge. There is a boat with a ladder attached to it. This ladder is 8 feet long. If the water rises 4 feet, how much of the ladder will remain over the surface of the water? Still 8 feet. The rising water will lift the boat, and the ladder is attached to the vessel. Ruth had just moved into a new house and was busy with boxes. Meanwhile, while she was distracted, someone took her laptop. The girl went over to her new neighbors, hoping that one of them had seen something. Eric told her that he had been staying at home with a fever the whole day. Emma said she didn't even know a new neighbor was coming. And Jonathan said he just got home from his office. Who took Ruth's laptop? Look at Jonathan's car. It's covered with a thick layer of snow. The man lied. He hadn't been to work. One wizard catches people and then makes them choose between two doors. Behind one of them, there's an unfriendly, to put it mildly, dragon. And behind the other, there's a chest filled with gold. The ones who pick the right door become rich and are allowed to leave the castle. But if it's the wrong door, well, the outcome is much more tragic. There are two signs on the doors. One lies and the other is truthful. On the first door, it's written, "The treasure is here. The dragon is in the next room." The other sign says, "The treasure and the dragon aren't in the same room." Where's the gold? The chest with the treasure is in the second room. The second statement is true, which means the first one is false. Can you find all the emojis hidden in this picture? So how many have you spotted? There are actually 5 emojis here. Have a look. What about this picture? How many emojis can you spot here? Look at that, 6 emojis. Have you found all of them? A man is thinking about how fast his life is flying by. The day before yesterday, I was 34, and next year I'll be 37. The man hasn't made any mistakes in his calculations. Can you guess what day his birthday is? The man's birthday is on December 31st. He's thinking about it on January 1st. The day before his birthday, he was 34. The next day, he turned 35. A new year started the next day, and that year, he's going to turn 36. And he will be 37 the following year. Ooh, look at this! A car has crashed into a restaurant window, smashing it. Detective Harris has come to investigate the case. There are 2 suspects, Julie and Douglas, but each of them claims that the other person did it. Can you help the detective figure out who's lying? It's Julie. The tire tracks on the ground belong to her car. Look at these 3 men. They're at the airport. Can you figure out which of these guys is married? All these men are holding their passports and tickets in their hands. None of them is wearing a wedding ring. But if you pay attention to the man sitting on the bench, you'll notice that on his ticket, it's written family discount. So he must be the one who's married.